Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we will be covering Evernote. Just so you know, this is on the Evernote mobile app. I decided to do it on the mobile app because it is the most common way that Evernote is used. Now you can get Evernote for your PC or Mac on the desktop, but I decided to show it on the iPhone because it is a very common way to use it, and I'd say that most people who use this app use it on your mobile device. So just to show you, this is the home screen. Once you log in, I'm on the Evernote app, and we're going to take a look at all of the options that we have here. So this is the home screen. I get to that by clicking the far left icon in the bottom. It also has a search feature to search your notes, and it also has a favorites and shortcuts area and your profile information. There's also this plus button, which we can use to just go ahead and add notes, but we'll get to that in a second. So on the home screen, we can go in and we can see your notebooks listed here. This is where you're going to organize your notes for different activities, classes, projects, different things that you may have, different kinds of meetings, just whatever you want. So for this one, I already have my first notebook and it's already populated with some notes, which is great. But I'm going to show you guys what it feels like to create a fresh one. So we're just going to hit Add Notebook, which is the green plus beside Notebooks, and we're going to make one called Instruct. Okay, so I've created my notebook called Instruct. I'm going to click on it and see that there's no notes. Well, to add a note, I'm going to click the big green circle down at the bottom there, and it's going to prompt me to either title my notes and start writing or choose a template. So I'm just going to go ahead and title things. So I'll type this Instruct 1. You can use a template and things, but some of them are kind of heavy. And unless you have a specific use for them, I would just use text just because it's, quicker. But there's also like useful things like a weekly review, brainstorming session. Like all of these are pretty useful on the default templates. But we'll just stick to the basics for now. Okay, so here I'm going to write some basic instructions. So here is the basics and colon. Alrighty, so you can go ahead and, as you can see, it's a pretty responsive user interface here. You just tap up and down to switch the lines, and you have these icons here in the little above your text. So what you can do is you can try a couple of these out. So say I want some bold text. I'm going to say here, and it's in bold. Here's, and you can also combine these with bold and italics. So bold and italics is like here it is, and that's bold italics. And we can even add an underline to the next line. Here it goes. Alrighty. So as you can see, you can change all those with just the tap of on and off. Green is on, white is off. You can also create things like check boxes. So if we want to make a little to-do list for this, say we have some homework, we'll just start by adding homework, tasks, okay? And so now we're going to go right in and we're going to say do lesson 1, okay? I'm going to take the underlining off of that. It's a little bit distracting. All right, so we'll just go ahead and put just an italics on it and say lesson 1 and lesson, go back and italicize, lesson 2. Okay, so now I have a little to-do list there, and I can space this out by entering a turn and things, and you can check those later as you do them. And so here also there's another piece here that you can, as you're taking notes and you want to separate them. So point 1 can be bulleted in numbers or in bullets by selecting these, which is pretty handy. So 1 is lesson, and then 2 is lesson, 3 is lesson. So those are some very good points there. We'll make sure we want to remember them. And adding some more things onto it, let's just deselect these. And we'll go on to the options here at the plus. So when I'm in the editor here, there's this green plus at the top of this little bar. And so I'm going to add this. And you have the option to record photos, take photos, add from your photos, record your audio, add a sketch, and attach a file. And all of these can be used to beef out your notes with usable things for later. Say I want to just add from my photos or take a photo. Say I want to take a photo here of my MacBook. So, because Apple's the subject, it'll help me learn. So I'm just going to hit take photo. And as long as your permissions are enabled, we're going to take that photo. Bam. And we're going to save that in our notes because we're learning about Apple today. Okay. And so there it goes. And that was generally easy. This is also easy with audio. Let me try this while I'm recording. So yes, I'll allow it to use it. So this is also a playback version of your audio for your notes. So if we listen to this back right here, yes, I'll allow it to use it. So this is also a playback version. If you guys heard that, then that means it's working, but it worked on my end. Then there's also the cool little drawing feature, which I absolutely love. Okay, so say we were in our note-taking session and we needed to just sketch out some diagrams to help us visualize some things. So like say I needed to draw that with that. And as you can see, I'm a terrible artist, but it kind of makes sense of what I'm doing as it goes. Especially with squares and things. You know, if you can draw a circle good enough, I guess it can catch it. But yeah, say I need to do all that, I can just draw them out and undo them. You know, say I didn't like that, say I wanted this, and that line's going over a little bit much, so I just erase it, you know, and I can keep those pieces and continue building my notes. And we can add color with the highlighter, and we can also make cuts as well. Alrighty. So that is that. You know, now that we're done with our little sketch there, we'll add it into our notes. And yeah, these buttons are also available down at the bottom, like before you click in right here. These also accomplish the same things as what I just showed you. Just easy ways to do it. There's also cool little shareable links that you can add to where you can share your notes with someone, say they missed class. You can set a reminder for that homework lesson of yours with these preset things, or you can pick your own date and time, which is handy. And yeah, so pretty much all of that is great, and you can add a note to show that where you're at. You know, just all kinds of things you can do. So now that I've made this masterpiece of notes, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my shortcuts. Okay, so it's been added. So I'm just going to go back. As you can see in the Instruct notebook, the Instruct 1 notes that I just took are there to access later. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go over. We can see in Shortcuts, Instruct 1, I just added it to my shortcuts. It can now be found there because I thought that was a really important note session. So yeah, that's a little cool. And to top things off, I'm going to look for Instruct and see, look, it automatically finds it. Let's see if it can go one layer deeper and go for the basics. Yep, it finds the basics inside the lesson that I just made itself. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, please note that you can check your reminders here and you're shared with me under this tab. And yeah, that's pretty much the basics of getting to know Evernote. And there's some more features you can do if you go premium. And there are different things you can do if you want to do a web snippet. But I'm just going to stop it right there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any issues in the comments below. And yeah, I'll walk you through something else.